What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gelbeauty 7 here, aka Grace Honey, and today we're going to talk about the best makeup products I tried so far in 2024. So we're at the halfway mark of the year, so y'all know people usually start showing these videos of what we tried so far throughout the year that we like. So I figured it was about time I got to the point and got to that. So I hope you bought a drink and a snack and all that. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so if you like fragrance videos, if you like dupe videos, if you like complexion videos, and you like new makeup releases, and this is definitely the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But now let's get into it for real. So I got a few products to talk about. I'm gonna start off with the primers. I don't have that many primers. I only have like 3 that I recall coming out this year that I use and really enjoy. So actually 2 of them were affordable, which is crazy. So I'm gonna start off with the NYX Professional Blur Screen SPF 30. So I was excited about this because I told y'all before I'm not that big on using sunscreen like I should. I have some on today. I'm proud of myself. I even brought it down my neck and everything. Like, you know, small clap for me. Just small round of applause. There you go. But I really like this because it has SPF. It's nice to have the extra protection of SPF while using this. Sometimes I forget to put on SPF earlier in the day or I'm in a rush. So I know at least I'll have some sunscreen protection as opposed to none by using this product. Plus, I thought it actually did do a decent job of blurring on the skin. So I was thoroughly impressed with it and liked it. So shout out to it. Then the next primer I have to talk about is the LA Girl Blurring Putty Primer. So this is just supposed to be their dupe for the Natasha, the Silk Canvas, the original one. I actually really like this one. I think I might like this one a little bit more than I like the one from Hard Candy. Plus, I feel like LA Girl is easier to find than Hard Candy because it's like if you don't want to go to Walmart, you can go to LA Girl. You can go to Ulta and pick this up. You might be able to find this in your local CVS store as well. I think you can find LA Girl at Target. Don't quote me, but I know because since, you know, Ulta is inside Target, you might be able to get this at the Ulta and Target. I'm not 100% sure, but the point is I feel like this is easier to find than Hard Candy if you don't have a Walmart in your region. Last primer I have to talk about, of course, we know is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. I thought this was interesting and unique. When you put it on, it does kind of turn into a powdery, silky consistency on the face when you rub it in, and it's good for those summery months. So this might be one I'll take on vacation with me. We'll see, but I know I'm taking the blur screen for sure, just because if I forget to put on SPF, which I doubt I will, but it's nice to have extra SPF protection. So I will definitely be taking it, and I might be taking this as well because I'm telling y'all, when the heat comes, it is definitely needed. But I've been loving my e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. The only thing with this is I'm hoping, like I told y'all before, that once it gets to a certain point, it continues to spray, because I noticed with the green one that was supposed to be a dupe for, I think, All Nighter, that when after you sprayed it a certain amount of time, like it would get stuck. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I don't know if you only get a certain amount of sprays in them and then like it gets clogged and it won't spray anymore or what, but I'm gonna try to transfer it over and see if I can use it. And if this comes to that, then I might try to transfer it over too. But I do know that the original Hydro Grip does not do that, so that might be something you want to keep in mind. Or if you don't mind transferring it over to a different container, then go ahead and do that too, because I mean this is only 10 bucks and I think the travel size one is like 18 or something like that. But I thoroughly enjoyed this product. As you can see, like I said, it's halfway done with it. I use this to spray my face ahead of time, and then I put like solid Tilbury on top of it just to make sure we seal everything in nice and tight. But I think it does a pretty decent job on its own, and it's pretty affordable, so it's something I like. The other one I like, and this one is like literally like I think I have maybe one more use in it and then I'm done. I'm taking it on vacation with me. This is the NYX the Marshmallow Setting Spray. It smells marshmallowy and really nice, and it actually sets the makeup quite nice as well. As you can see, mine is a gross dirty mess, but that's how you can tell it's loved. That's why I'm gonna be cleaning my makeup when I show it to y'all, because I want you to see it's loved. And that's how you know I really love the product, because if it's dirty like this, honey, that means I've been using it a lot. When I have foundation on my fingers, I'm still reaching for it and grabbing it because I love it. So these are the 2 setting sprays I've been enjoying throughout the year. Okay, so I guess we can start off with some glow filter wand type primer things, if you will. Y'all know I got the Juvia's Place Glow Booster. That was what this was called, right? I don't know, it doesn't say anywhere on the packaging. I just know I have shade number 3. I believe it was the shade Burkina. That's the shade I normally wear, so I figured this was equivalent to Burkina. I really like this. I like the ones like this that give you coverage. I don't like the ones that have like no coverage to the skin whatsoever. I mean, I know it's just supposed to be a glow booster and like a glow from within primer type thing, but I prefer me to have a little bit of coverage, because worst comes worst, I can put foundation powder on it and go. So this one is pretty good, although I have found some more affordable ones that have a decent amount of coverage. Like I like the e.l.f. one. I know some people didn't like the e.l.f. one. I liked it just fine, but if I remember correctly, the e.l.f. one came out last year and not this year, so that's why I picked this one. I have a video coming up on this one versus the e.l.f. one, so just stay tuned for that. But I thoroughly have been enjoying this one along with some other ones, so I figured I would go ahead and include it in here, especially since it's a nice affordable option. We're gonna talk about the one that's on my face now, which I'm actually kind of shocked about. My whole thing with this is, to me, this is just something I add with other products. I would never wear this alone. I wore it alone in the video that you all have already seen. I'll have the thumbnail here as usual, but yeah, so this is the Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. Now, to me, this is just a stick version of the Hollywood Flawless Filter, and they're calling it a foundation to get you intrigued about it. But like, it gives hardly, if any, coverage. It says light coverage, and it means it, honey. Like, I have the shade 12.5 if anyone was trying to shade batch with me, but I bought it for winter because I'm like, since it said it was like glowing and hydrating, I figured that would be the best time for me, so I picked according to what time I was going to use it. I did try it out, and I'm actually wearing it right now with another foundation, but this is a nice like build upon foundation when you want to glow from within and have that blurred Facetune AI looking skin. I feel like this would be good for you to add with your foundation. Next one I have to talk about is the La Mer, the Radiant Skin Tint SPF 30. I have the shade Deep 52. Now, to me, this is a mixer situation. I dare not wear this on its own just because it doesn't give enough coverage, but I do mix it with other foundations and it does look beautiful on the skin. So this is one, again, I would mix with like a more full coverage foundation. It's a beautiful product. It's just because it's La Mer, I feel like their shade range is lacking, and their shade range lacks a lot. So I'm interested to see their new foundation that's coming out, and I think it's supposed to be July. I want to see how that coverage, how the color selection is going to be, because sometimes they be lacking. I just decide, like, really, La Mer, this is the best you have? Because you need to go back to the drawing board if this is the best you have. So I have some bougie expensive ones, so I'm going to kind of like go in between the two. So we'll do another expensive one, and then I'll try to get in some more affordable ones, and then we'll go back to some more expensive things. So next I have this Tom Ford Architect Soft Matte Foundation. I wear the shade 10 Chestnut, if anyone was curious. Now, if you already own the Hydrating Radiancy one that they have in the same packaging that's just like clear with the gold detailing on it, then you might not necessarily need to get this one. This one's just supposed to be a little more mattifying than that one, but they both blur. They both have a lot of similar ingredients. Again, I did a video on it. I'll try to put the thumbnail right here of how this one is really similar to that one, so like you don't need to necessarily have both. I personally love this foundation though. Like, honey, it's giving I'm living. I am loving and obsessed with it. But my whole thing is like, I don't know that you necessarily want to pay the price point for this, especially because the other one I just mentioned has been at the company cosmetic store for 50% off, because that's how I initially got it and got to try it, and then compared it to this one. It's a great foundation. It is one of my all-time favorite foundations that I have tried this year. I want to see what it's going to look like with the Charlotte Tilbury stick, because I feel like those would just look amazing together. So let's get into a couple of somewhat affordable ones, if you will. So I have this About Face, the Performer Skin Focused Foundation. I have my summer shade here, which is D2 Olive, and I think D1 Olive is the one I plan on wearing in the wintertime. As you can see, this is a little bit darker. That one's a little bit lighter. But I liked this foundation. I thought it was nice. It has a nice doe foot applicator on it for quick and easy application. When you want to go, you can rub it on your face real quick and like blend it out and go, if you prefer a liquid foundation over a stick. Because I know some people don't necessarily like stick foundations. They prefer liquid foundations. Some like a pump. If you're okay with this and it's still a liquid foundation, this might be good for you. Plus, About Face is actually pretty reasonably priced, and I thought this looked really nice on skin and did a really good job. Now, I didn't say what necessarily the finish was supposed to be, if I remember correctly, in the video I did. Again, I try to leave thumbnails as I talk about this stuff, since I've done videos on just about everything in this video. But yeah, I really enjoyed this foundation. That's why I have a summer shade and a winter shade. I liked it enough to get a summer and a winter shade, so that tells you everything you need to know right there, right? Yeah. Okay, let's get into another somewhat affordable one. So the next one I have is the Amy Coley Skin Stick. This is an amazing stick foundation. Now, this is like Skin Tune AI Facetune in a foundation stick with actual coverage. This definitely gives way more coverage than Charlotte Tilbury. So let me know if you want me to do a review comparing both of them. I have a summer shade and a winter shade in this one, so I might bring my winter shade just so they'll be evenly colored and just bronze up on both sides. But I definitely want to compare this to that one, because if you wanted the version of the Charlotte Tilbury with coverage, I feel like this is definitely it. The Rihanna one could be a good alternative for that as well. But yeah, so I'm thinking I might have to do a video on that now. But anyway, this is the shade 230. I think I have 210 as well, don't quote me, but this is a beautiful product. It looks so nice on the skin. Again, did a video for this as well a while ago this year, but it is just such a gorgeous product. This is my summer shade, so I haven't really reached for it that much yet because summer just started, but I reached for my winter shade a lot when I first got this in PR from the brand because I just thought this was a gorgeous foundation stick. It looks amazing on the skin, and I'm so happy that I got it in my collection. I have the Sicily foundation. I told you all about the Tint Perfector, or Phyto Tint Perfection foundation. I have the shade 6W Chestnut. As you can see, this is more a little bit lighter than I can use right now. This is probably more like my winter shade, but it was hard to guess online what shade I needed, and it was my first time buying anything from Sicily. This foundation did, so I wanted to try it out. I thought it looked amazing on the skin. And so the last one I have to talk about that's on the more expensive side is the Louboutin foundation. I have the shade, it looks 60W in this foundation. I thought this was a really nice shade match to me. I actually really liked this foundation. I was concerned about how I was going to feel about it because this is my first Louboutin Beauty purchase, if you will, and I was nervous, but I was like, I wanted to try this foundation for a while. I think this is supposed to be the matte version because I think they had like a glowy version or something like that, but I'm pretty sure this is the matte version. Again, thumbnail right here because I've already done it, but I thoroughly enjoyed this foundation. It looked really skin-like and nice on the skin. I thought it was really nice. The only thing is it's hard to find this one. Like, you have to buy this one at a department store or on their website. It's not like you can go to Sephora and pick it up, you know, like you can do with Prada Beauty and Valentino and stuff like that. Like, you have to go to a department store or you have to go to their website. So to me, that's the only downside about buying the Louboutin foundation. Next one we're going to talk about is this e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. Now, I have the shade 50 Deep Warm. This foundation is amazing for $8. Like, y'all, this is a steal. If you like that old school Cover FX foundation that was in the same bottle as this, or that Tom Ford hydrating foundation that I talked about, I feel like this could be a good alternative to either one of those. This is definitely a great purchase if you're interested in it. Hopefully it's at your local Walmart by now, because happy to have that in my collection as well. Next we have the Urban Decay Face Bond foundation. I have the shade 31 Medium Deep Warm Golden. This is what I was saying when I said I bought my summer shade, because this is definitely around the summer shade for me, so I definitely will have to mix this in when it comes to wintertime. But it does a great job when it comes to controlling oil. I think they do an amazing job with this foundation. I heard some people saying they thought it looked really dry and flaky on their skin. I didn't have that experience, so I don't know if that was for people with dry skin, but I know Fly After 50 said that she tried it and she ended up liking it. She has dry skin, so I don't know who these people were that having an issue with it. And I thought it looked great. I thought it held and controlled oil well. I didn't have any issues with it transferring either, because I did the transfer test. So I've had nothing but positive experiences with this foundation, but that's just me. Next one we have to talk about is this Fenty, I forgot the name, it's Hydrating, I think it's called Hydrating, Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Long Wear Foundation. I have the shade 420, of course, because I wear the shade 420 in all Fenty foundations, or just the shade 20 when it comes to the tints. So the tint stick and the tint blur foundation, I wear shade 20, and then in the actual hydrating and mattifying foundation, I wear shade 420. But this has a nice like golden hour glow from within moment going on with it. I don't know if this was like her foundation version of the Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury, because everybody wants to have a copy of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter situation. So I'm assuming this is like her version of that. Don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure, but in my mind that's what this is, so that's what I'm going with. Either way, I like it. I liked her old hydrating foundation though. I know Jackie Anna said she liked it too, but a lot of people didn't like it, so I'm assuming that's why she reformulated to this one, which this one is nice as well. But the only thing is I feel like this one actually oxidizes and makes me look darker than I actually am, which I guess will work in the summertime, but in like the wintertime it will make me not want to like use this because I feel like it oxidized. Let me know if you had that experience with this though, if you bought your normal shade and like oxidized on you, because I swear I feel like it oxidizes on me and I'm not feeling it, girl. Like, I'm needed to stay whatever color it's actually supposed to be, and don't be playing games with me, because I just know. just know. The last foundation I have to talk about before we get into the concealers would be the Say foundation. So shout out to Adept's Makeup. She sent me over my summer shade and I bought my winter shade. So this is the shade she sent me, Glowy Super Skin Foundation in the shade number 28. I've been thoroughly enjoying this foundation. Looks like these to me work better in the wintertime than they do in the summertime, but I do like it, so I'm glad I have a summer shade for the cooler summer days. Like if I'm going out on a summer night, I feel like I could wear this foundation and be okay. It is a great product. If you're interested in trying it out, you definitely should do so. Let's get into these concealers now some more. I have the NYX Pro Fix Stick. I brought the shade Nutmeg, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I really like this concealer. Like, I like concealers in a stick like this every now and again, and I feel like this is the perfect color too for what I needed it for. Again, it's one of those cream ones that I can rub underneath the eyes really quick. So this will be part of my like rush routine, as I call it. When I have to rush out the door, I like to use a lot of stick products or doe foots, so that way I can get the product on my face quickly and it doesn't take a million years for me to get everything done. So I've really been enjoying this for that when I have to rush. So the next concealer I have to talk about, but this is the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer from Fenty. I have the shade 410W, so I usually buy like a shade or 2 shades lighter or sometimes higher than that. I like this concealer just fine. I like it better than the original one, to be honest. The original Fenty concealer I wasn't that crazy about, but with this one I actually find myself reaching for it. Now I do put it with more like, you know, full coverage mattifying one, so I'll put this like in the inner corner of my eye to kind of brighten up a little bit, and then I'll put a more mattifying one in the areas where I want to like build up the coverage on my cheeks and toward the back of the eye. And I wouldn't dare put this down the middle of my face just because it's a more hydrating one. So I feel like I would lose the coverage on it quickly because it's hydrating and I have oily combination skin. But it's a good product overall. I was thoroughly impressed with the concealer, or else it wouldn't have been in this video. So I'm saving the one that surprised me till the end. But next I have the Say Slip Tint Concealer. I have the shade number 14. As you can see, it's kind of light beigey shade, but y'all know you put the lighter, brighter one like right up in here in the inner corner, and then you put like one that's like 1 to 2 shades lighter than your under eye in the rest of the face. So that's mainly what this one is for. I usually don't try to put it all the way underneath unless I have like darkness going on in there. I'm really trying to brighten up and cover it up. Then I would put this a little farther onto the eyes. But this one's nice. I think it did a good job. I like to combine it with the Say foundation, of course, because I like to use products together because I feel like they work best together. But I've been thoroughly enjoying this one. And the last one I had that surprised me is this Win Beauty concealer. It's Win Beauty by Serena Williams Nothing to See Soft Matte Creamy Concealer. Now remember I told you I didn't plan on trying this brand. I have the shade 300 Swift. But what ended up happening was I heard Robert Welch talking about hearing good things about the lipstick and the concealer. And I was like, well, y'all know me, I love a good complexion product. But the reason I didn't want to buy her complexion because, you know, I assumed it wasn't going to be full coverage concealer because it's supposed to be a skin tint. And I thought it'd be weird to have like a full coverage concealer in your line, but you're selling a skin tint. But it's more like a medium coverage concealer, which I can work with. Because, you know, as long as I can build up to high medium coverage, that works for me. Because y'all know me, I'm going to have a high medium to full coverage foundation on. So even if it's a medium concealer, I can blend it with a full coverage concealer and be fine. The finish on this is so beautiful and nice. And I feel like this is a perfect, nice golden shade for the under eyes for someone with my skin tone. So I actually was thoroughly impressed with this concealer. This is my second time wearing it. I actually have it underneath my eyes right now. And I've been thoroughly enjoying this concealer. So I am very, very impressed and shocked that I like this concealer so much. Let's get down to all these powders, girl. So I have the Essence Keep Me Covered powder. So this came out after that 16-hour one they came out with, and this one I think is a little bit more affordable than the 16-hour one, and it's actually pretty deep because this one was a little too deep for me. Even in the summertime, I feel like this is a little too dark, so I have to use a very light hand when I use this, or I have to use a lighter foundation like with that La Mer foundation I told you about, or the one from Sicily. I can put this on top and it will help darken the foundation and make it work better for my skin tone. So I like to keep it around for that reason. Plus it's going to give good coverage because it's a foundation powder. So for a drugstore powder, I think it's really nice, and I think they did a good job. And the fact that they have a deep enough shade that's too deep for me at the drugstore from Essence especially, I'm like, bravo Essence, honey, you're getting the hang of it here in America, because I know they're like a foreign brand. Next I have this LA Girl Soft Pink Pro Setting Brightening Loose Setting Powder. At first I didn't like this that much, but I think it's a good drugstore pink powder. If you like a thin, finely milled powder that will blur underneath the eyes, just keep in mind this isn't going to mattify for you, so you might want to just use this as a topper to brighten up underneath the eyes, especially if you have oily combination skin like I do, because this is not going to do anything for you on its own. You need to like bake with a pink powder or bake with a powder that you can use, and just put this on top as what it says it is, a brightening one. Don't try to bake with this one or use this one unless you have normal skin or dry skin, because otherwise I feel like it's not gonna do anything for you. But for a drugstore pink powder, I think they did a good job. This is the La Mer, the soft moisture powder. I have the shade 61 Sunrise, and this is a powder foundation. So this is what it looks like. I like to use this with my expensive foundations, and like when a foundation is too deep. When I wear my winter shade, I put this on top to kind of when I'm wearing my summer shade in the winter time, I put this on top to kind of lighten it up a little bit, because as you can see, this is quite light on the skin, and this was the darkest shade that I saw that they had. So I was a little disappointed in that. So that's why I'm saying I'm concerned about this foundation powder this foundation that they're coming out with this summer, because I'm like, is there going to be enough shades? What's going on with that? Who's all over there? I need to know. But I really do enjoy this powder though. I think it looks amazing on the skin, and it feels really nice and well moisturizing and hydrating like it says. I got a couple more pink powders, so let's just get the pink powders out the way. I don't remember if the Huda one came out this year or not, so my bad if it didn't. But this is the Cherry Blossom Cake Shade. I actually recently did a video comparing this one to the one from Pat McGrath, the baby pink shade. I believe this one came out this year, and they both do a good job, or else I want to put them in here. This is one that I would use probably as a topper on top of this one, just to get extra brightness, because to me this one is more for baking, to set the under eye, and then you can dust this on for the brightness going on. So each one of them serve a purpose. If you have oily combination skin, this would be the one for you in the summertime, and then you can use this one like in the wintertime. Or like I said, you can use this as a brightening topper. But I like both of them. I think they both do a nice job of brightening and giving a pink look to the eyes. I will say though, sometimes I feel like the Huda one pulls a little gray on me because of my skin tone. So that's just something to keep in mind. You might want to, if you want to try pink powder, maybe just try the LA Girl one, just to be safe. Next we have the Easy Bake and Snatch from Huda in the peach shade. So I have Peach Pie. I really like this color. I actually have this one underneath my eyes right now, so if you wonder what's going on with the brightness underneath my eyes, it is this Peach Pie. I think this is a gorgeous color. I really like this. I like to combine this to brighten underneath the eyes when I use Rich Peach from one side. So I'll put that underneath there to like bake with and dust away, and then I'll put this on there to like brighten and whatnot, so that way I can have the mattifying and still have the brightness going on. So it's a nice combination. I actually have Rich Peach in this video along with Sweet Honey, because I love my one size powders. Whenever Patrick Starr comes out with a powder I'm interested in the shade and I want to try it, I know I need a mattifying moment, I'll either go to him or Huda. So I gave the pink one to Huda, especially since he hadn't come out with the pink yet, or it hadn't hit stores yet, if I remember correctly, or it sold out during the sale. Something like that happened, and that's how I ended up with Huda's as opposed to his, because I would rather have his, to be honest, because I love all of the powders Patrick comes out with. I think he's very good at coming out with shades for all skin tones, but then again, you have to remember he's kind of on like the more tan side, so he would understand to make undertones that work for tan to deeper skin tones. That's why I usually like to prefer to go to Patrick Starr when it comes to powders. Plus, he just does a fabulous job with the powders. Next, we have Natasha Denona's High Glam Powder Foundation. I have the shade Y13. I'm actually wearing this powder foundation on my face right now. So we've come to the end of all the stuff I'm wearing on my face in this video, I believe. Besides like the blush. The blush I have on, the liquid blush I have on, you will see a little bit later on. But yeah, I've been waiting on Natasha to come out with a foundation powder for a while, so I'm so happy she came out with this and she did not disappoint. I'm telling y'all, I was waiting on this powder. I was like, Natasha girl, where is it? Is it far? I remember when she posted about coming out with a new high glam powder. I'm like, is it a powder finally, Natasha? Because I feel like as long as I've been buying Natasha Denona, she's never had any powder. So I was like, Natasha girl, where's the powder? What is taking you so long to bring the powder? So when she finally came with the powder, I was like, thank God. Because Natasha girl, I was concerned. I was really concerned, and I was like, what is she doing where we can't ever get any powder? Like, Natasha, why? Oh, y'all, I forgot a concealer. It rolled off behind me. Y'all, I did all this powder and then do this concealer. But this is Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer. I have the shade 4N2. I think that's a shade called Cardamom. Don't quote me, but yeah, I liked this concealer. I thought it was really nice. It did feel weightless underneath the eyes. It blended out easily. I think it gave a decent amount of coverage. It was very buildable and wore nicely on the skin. So I would recommend trying this out. I do have a code, Laura Mercier. If you're interested, it should be down below. So we'll go in the order I put stuff on. So I'll put on bronzer first, then I do put on blush, and then I do highlighter last. So let's get into this bronzer. I have have a few. I have more than I thought I did. I'll do the liquid ones and then I'll do the powder ones last. So the first liquid one I have is from Say. This is the Say Dew Bronzer in the shade Stinson. So this is what it looks like. They have 6 shades in their line, which I think they did an okay job with. I always feel like people need to like make a darker one though. Like, now don't make it black like Euphoria and call it a bronzer. Like, you need to actually put some depth and undertone in it, like people told them to do with that foundation, and you know, they canceled down. But yeah, so I feel like they did a halfway decent job. But my whole thing is like, I feel like they need to come up with one more shade for the deep dark or the dark or deep rich category, because the 6 shades are nice, but it's like the one after mine, I don't feel like it's too much deeper. Like, I don't even know if cocoa swatches or too much mouse would be able to use it. So that's just something I feel like they could work on a little bit. But otherwise, I feel like for the most part it was a nice shade range. It was more than they used to come out with in the years past, so I will give them credit. They're trying to do a little better, and I don't mean just Say, I mean like just like brands in general. They're trying to do better with bronzers. So I remember they used to only have like 3, and then it's like, oh, where's the rest of the bronzers? Like, where are they? So they're doing a little bit better, but I like this one when I want like a true like reddish undertone bronze to the face, and I think it does a good job for that. However, I love the Makeup Bar Mario one because it gives like that nice sculpted from within look, if you will. And I'm here for that. So when I want to look sculpted and bronze at the same time, I would definitely reach for the Makeup Bar Mario. Now, I do know he has 7 shades as opposed to 6, but I remember what Coco Swatch is saying that his deepest shade, she didn't feel like it was deep enough. So they saying he needs to work on his as well. So I'm like, okay. So that's what I was saying. When Say had 6 and then they had 7 and it still wasn't enough, I'm like, okay. Then Mario need to go back to the drawing board and work on it and have one that's a little bit deeper or a little bit darker. Because I did notice that when he's dark and dark deep, that there isn't that much depth or difference in between. It's just like one is like my summer shade and then one is just like my winter shade. Like, I can pull off this one in the summertime still as well, but dark deep just works a little bit better for me in the summertime than this one does. So I can see what she means in saying that it's not running deep enough. Maybe she can use that one in the wintertime, but it's like, who wants to wait to have to use the product in the wintertime, you know? So he does need to do better on that, but I do think he has a gorgeous formula with this, and I usually like whatever bronze he comes out with. Like, I love the stick one he has, I love the liquid one he has, which is this one, and then I love the balm one. Like, I literally use up a full one of dark deep in the balm because I like it that much. So that tells you how much I like Makeup by Mario's bronze and sculpting products. So you shouldn't be surprised if that was in here. So next, let's get into these bronzers. So I have this e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Bronzer in the shade Sun Soaked. This is the deepest shade they have, I believe. Or it might be one after mine. I don't 100% remember, but I feel like this was the darkest one they had. And it took forever for them to come out with this. So like, they need to do better with the bronzer range as well. Because I remember when these first came out, I think they only had like 2 shades or something. I don't even think they had one for Karen or my girl Dion to use, because like, it was just lacking. Like, they had done better with the blushes than they did with the bronzers. So when they extended the bronzers, I find it weird that then they got rid of the blushes. It's like, y'all can't have deeper blushes and bronzers in this Primer Infused collection, because the ones I like Always Fiery, and it was another one that they had that they discontinued, and now they only have these bright blushes. So it's like, why couldn't y'all keep both the Primer Infused bronzers and blushes lighter? I mean deeper, for us to have options in both categories. We got to pick one or the other one. So I have to go buy the Buxton blushes now because you decided that I didn't need blushes, I should have bronzers instead. Like, I don't understand. Either way, this is a great bronzer. It's a great product. I think they did an excellent job. I just want to know why you took the blushes away. Next one I have is the Rim Beauty Satin Matte Bronzer in the shade Coconut. She had, I think, 7 bronzers to come out when these first came out. It's 6 or 7 of these. I think it's one more that's deeper than my shade, if I remember correctly. Again, I don't know how well it'll work on deeper skin tones than mine, but I really like the formula on this. I feel like it is really similar to the Westman Atelier formula. So if you didn't want to pay the high price of Westman Atelier, especially because her shade ranges definitely be lacking. Like, she just came out with a deeper bronzer shade and it wasn't that much deeper either. I think that one works better probably for like tan skin and not my skin tone. Same with her cream stick, which is why it's not in here, because it's like, I'm gonna need you to do better with these shades. I don't know what's going on over there. It's like, she does okay when it comes to complexion, but it's like everything else, I mean, sorry, when it comes to foundation, but like everything else, it's like it's lacking in shade range. for stuff. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why, but it's always lacking. But I'm glad that I found an alternative to it, this Rim Beauty one, especially because Ariana's brand is so much more affordable. So it's like West Mediterranean Who when I found this bronzer for, I think this bronzer is like 25 bucks, and it's just as nice as the West Mediterranean one. Rim Beauty products that I've actually been impressed with, along with the blushes you'll see a little bit later, spoiler alert, but I was actually impressed with that drop. I'll end with some luxury bronzers. So I have the All Hours Hyper Bronze. It doesn't say what shade this is. I think it says number 5. I have the deepest shade that they have, because of course, like, the deepest shade they made was for my skin tone. Like, everybody after my skin tone is like, you just out of luck. YSL said you don't need a bronzer. And I felt like it was sad that this was the darkest one that they had, because I'm like, they could have made one a little bit darker. I did a whole video on this. We're not gonna touch on it anymore. I do like the way this blurs and blends into the skin. Looks nice and soft and bronzed on the skin. So that was my main reason for liking this one. But again, these shade ranges on these bronzers need to work with. Same thing with this Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk bronzing powder in the shade 120. I have the darkest shade there is, and to me this isn't that dark. Like, as you can see, I do say this one blurs a whole lot better. It looks a whole lot better. It looks a whole lot more blurred and smooth and sun-kissed on the skin than the one from L'Oreal does. As soon as I saw this, that's what it made me think of, that L'Oreal bronzer that they came out with a million years ago that was glowy. Okay, so we're gonna do the liquid ones, then we'll get into the powder ones. I got some shimmery ones, I got some matte ones, of course, but I'll talk about the one that's on my face right now. So I have on the Huda Beauty Blush Filter Liquid Blush. I have the shade Strawberry Cream. If you all remember, this is the shade I told you I wanted to get the most, so I made sure I put that one on so you all could see it in action. This is in the video with the new Nars Hydrating Primer and Setting Mist. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. It does have that candy smell it said it was gonna have. It looks really nice on the skin, as you can see. I did mix 2 blushes with it. So I have Sex on Fire from Charlotte's Tilbury alongside Always Fresh from, what's that brand? Elf, the Primer Infused one, because it's super light. It's one of those new ones I told you that they came out with to replace the ones that work better for my skin tone. Don't know what that was about, but I think it looks quite nice on the face, and I think it does a good job blending in. It is like the Rare Beauty one though, where so you can put a lot on and then it'll blend out nicely. You can build it up, just in case you were curious on the formula. We have to talk about these Luminous Silk cheek tints from Giorgio Armani. I have the shade 41. I think it's called, I forgot what it's called, Cherry. It's called something Cherry. But I was very impressed with this. I didn't think I was going to be. I didn't think it was going to build up as nicely as it did. I thought it was going to be a super sheer situation. These build up quite nicely on the skin. And then when you use the matching powder blush that goes with it, it looks lovely on the skin. Because I remember liking the powder. I remember not liking the powder blush because I feel like it didn't give enough pigmentation. But once you put it with these, like, you get the amount of pigmentation that I prefer in a blush, because since I have oily combination skin, my cheeks usually eat up blush. So that's why I usually like to put a cream underneath and then put a powder on top, so that way it'll, you know, it'll last as much as I need it to. So I've been thoroughly enjoying this one. I actually want to get some more shades, but I'm trying to be good and wait till a sale comes, because these are quite expensive, because they're who, of course, Giorgio Armani. So now let's get into, I guess I'll do this one. No, I'll do the luxury ones last. I actually, believe it or not, have a blush palette. So this is the Garfield and Glam Light palette. I don't remember if it came out this year or not, but I swore I bought it this year, so we're gonna go with it for this year. I'm pretty sure I bought it this year. So this is the Lasagna Face palette, for the Love of Lasagna Face palette. I love the colors in here. Like, it has this nice bright orange, it has this nice bright red, and then you get this cool highlighter. This highlighter is a little bit glittery, so you just have to keep that in mind. If you don't like glittery highlighters, you might not like this. I do like this face palette as a whole though, just because I thought it had a really nice color story to it, and it keeps on trend with the, you know, branding of Garfield, of course. A lot of my blushes are actually affordable. How about that? Well, it's like a kind of a mixture, if you will. Next, I have the L'Oreal Infallible blushes. I have the shade Confidence. These are like $15.99. I don't know if that's necessarily affordable, but you can get coupons from L'Oreal, and then you can, you know, get deals at Ulta. So these are really nice on the skin. They build up quite nicely. I was thoroughly impressed with the form on these. I just always hate the fact that I feel like L'Oreal things are very expensive. Just keep in mind, these do have a perfume smell to them, so if you're sensitive to things like that, you might not necessarily be a fan of these. But Otherwise, I think they do a good job and you would like them if you try them out. Same things with the NYX Professional Buttermilk Blushes. This is the shade Had Butter. It's a great orangey corally shade. I love these. Like if you want a good dupe for the Dior blushes, I feel like this is it, because they definitely give you that glowy sheen to the skin, but they pick up easier on the brush. Even though they do have a you know, detailing in them, they still pick up nicely on the brush, and they look amazing on the skin, just as nice as the Dior ones do, with less of the price. So they're definitely one that I plan on reaching for more than the Dior ones, because they're a lot to work with, and you know, who wants to go through all that. So I have these ones from Rim Beauty. I told you we're going to talk about a little bit later. So I have Sun Pop and Strawberry Nebula. These are the satin matte blushes. Again, these are good dupes to another blush. So if you like those ones from Too Faced, the cloud, what was it, cloud, whatever they were, the cloud blushes that they had a while ago, these would be a great alternative for you. They give that same satin matte finish. The only thing is, I think those might they had primer infused in them. I don't remember. It's been a while ago since I did those Too Faced ones, don't quote me, but I feel like these are just as pigmented as nice, and I feel like they have similar colors. Like these two colors are similar to the ones I got from the Too Faced ones, and I actually prefer to use these because I like the undertones of them a little bit better. I feel like they do a little better when it comes to color for my skin tone, because they have a little bit more depth to them, and the ones from Too Faced of course are a little bit lighter, except the Watermelon Pop one. Now the Watermelon Pop one, I feel like it's equal to this one, but this peachy one I feel like is deeper than the one from Too Faced. I think it's called Tequila Sunset or something. So I prefer the orange from Rim Beauty, and then I can do either or when it comes to the pinkish reddish shade from them. But both of those are really nice, and they're a great alternative if you don't want to spend the money on, you know, the other one. Next I have the Kosas Blush is Life Baked Dimensional and Brightening Blush. I have the shade Adrenaline. It's a hot fuchsia pink shade. I actually recently tried this out Saturday, I want to say, and they were currently having a sale when I did try it out. I don't know if the sale's still going on now. If it is, I'll link it down below. But yes, honey, like I thoroughly enjoyed this blush. I thought this was a really nice color to put on the face. It did brighten, and then it gave a good amount of pigmentation off, so I was shocked about it. Y'all know baked blushes usually be like pressed pretty hard and it's hard to pick up, but it was like baked, but it was still soft enough to where you could pick up a decent amount of product and put it on the face. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I want to get some more of those as well. So I'm thinking about decluttering some of my old blushes to get some of these new blushes in that I feel like are more in trend or doing more for me. But let's get into these two luxury ones, and then we have like highlighters and lip products, and then we should be done. I know I'm taking forever, I'm so sorry. But next we have the terracotta blushes from, who is it, Guerlain. So I have Deep Coral and I think Deep Pink. So I brought Deep Coral with me. This is what she looks like. It's just a corally shade. I like coral shades and pink shades when it comes to the blush. Majority of the time I usually like coral shades though. Occasionally I do like a red, but and obviously I do berry in the wintertime, but these are the type of shades I usually like this season of the year. And as you can see, she's a gorgeous, nice corally shade. I do use the pink one though more than I use this one, but these have a strong perfume smell. Again, if you don't like perfume smells, then you will not like this, but it gives a good amount of pigmentation. It is, this shade I find myself having to build up more. It's a little bit disappointing to me for a deep coral. I still feel like it's more for a tan skin tone and not necessarily a deep skin tone, which I wasn't necessarily excited about. Next, we have the Dior Rosy Glow brush. This is the Bronze Glow shade. So I got Bronze Glow and then I got Poppy Coral, but I really enjoyed this one because I feel like this is a lighter version of the bronze shade they originally came out with, because the bronze shade they originally came out with I could actually use as a bronzer in addition to a blush, and sometimes if I'm a little heavy handed with it, it actually makes me look like I have a bruise on my face. So I was thoroughly impressed with that shade because that meant that would work nicer on deeper skin tones, but it still works nicely on myself. This one I feel like it's more for like tan skin tones or medium skin tones who want to buy the shade bronze, but it was like extremely too deep on them, because if it looks like it get a bruise on me, then it definitely looks too deep for them. So I feel like this was made for like in between people. The same thing with Poppy Coral. For the people who couldn't use cherry, they made some in between shades for those skin tones, which I think was nice because that means they have a good variety now of the blushes for all skin tones, just as opposed to the two they originally came out with that was mainly for like fair to maybe like medium at best. So I'm liking that the luxury brands are realizing that they need to evolve and make stuff for everybody, not just for fair to like, you know, medium skin tones and maybe tan occasionally. Like, you need to make them for everybody. So on to these highlighters, honey. So I only have a couple of highlighters to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Fenty Beauty Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. I have the shade Yum Rum, and then I have the other one that looks like Trophy Wipe. I just didn't bring that one, but I do like both shades. This was just the one I felt like bringing, so that's what I bought. Yum Rum is the more rose goldish shade, so of course that's the one I had to bring. I told y'all I love a rose gold highlighter. Any chance I get to have a rose gold highlighter, I am going to buy it. So these are kind of like the Hourglass ones, except you can buy for individual. And I think they're a little bit more affordable than the Hourglass ones. Don't quote me because I don't know how that much the Hourglass ones are. Y'all know I don't really rock with Hourglass like that. So I haven't bought an Hourglass thing in forever. But these definitely remind me of the Hourglass ones. But I feel like they give a little bit more, you know, oomph than the Hourglass ones do. I think they build up a little bit better. Next, I have these Tom Ford ones. These are from the summer collection. Now, I bought these this year, but I don't know if they like actually are from this year's summer collection or not. They might be from last year's summer collection. They were just trying to get rid of them. So I have number 2 Oasis and number 1 Mirage. I told you all about these when they went, I think, 50% off on Blue Mercury. So this is Mirage number 1. It's just a goldish or peachish gold highlighter. I like peachy gold highlighters and like little bronzish highlighters. I don't use my Tom Ford highlighters as much as I should. I feel like I should be using these more than other ones just because they cost a whole lot. But I do appreciate and love Tom Ford highlighters. Whenever they come out with some and they go on sale, I immediately am throwing them in my cart because I feel like he does such a beautiful job when it comes to complexion. That's the one thing I will give Tom Ford. When it comes to complexion product, if he made it, I have no problem just going out, reaching, snatching, grabbing, buying it. I have no problem with that whatsoever because he does such an excellent job at it. Let's get these out the way. So I got the Ulta lip products. I've been thoroughly enjoying these. These are just the 3 from Angie's, I think, second collab. So I have Quicksand, Shadow Creature, and Swamp Fog. And then I have, what is it? Spectral and Radioactive. So I have all 5 of them in here. I like all the tones of them. I also have Tina's and Annette's in here. So I have Glow, which is creativity, and then Shine and Brilliance. Then I have Snake Kiss and Shine, and Breath of Fire and Shine. So these are all the ones from their collection. I really enjoyed and liked them, so that's why I made sure to put them in this video. It's more like that whipped moussey texture. I don't know if my lips were dry when I first tried it, and that's why I didn't smooth over as nicely as it should have, but I like it now, so I wanted to make sure I included it. Now, I always liked their gloss formula. I just wasn't crazy about like that suede lip formula, but I have adjusted and thoroughly enjoy it now. So I'm talking about these e.l.f. lip plumping glosses just because they came out with new shades. So I originally liked this and had tried it before, but since they came out with new shades, I figured we could include it in this video as a favorite because I do like this formula. If you want an affordable plumping lip gloss, I feel like this is a good one for you to turn to because this is cheaper than the ones that Maybelline sells for $10, and it doesn't have that like fiery plumping lip sensation like the shorted Tilbury one has, because hers, like, you can taste the pepper underneath the rim of your mouth, and I don't even know why it does that, because it's like you don't obviously put lip gloss underneath there, but it's like you can feel it all the way underneath there. It's so weird. Norma Beauty said she felt it too, because at first I thought it was just me, but then when she mentioned it in her video, I'm like, okay, so it's not just me, you feel it too. So the Maybelline ones are like that. So even though they are affordable, they do that whole thing. So that's why I personally don't like them. So I figured this could be a good alternative for you. Now, it doesn't do like super plumping like the Too Faced ones or anything like that, but it does give you a nice plump to the lips, and it is affordable. So if you like a plumping gloss, that's just one I would keep in mind for you. I've been loving these YSL, what are these called? I have the Rouge Volute Candy Glaze Double Care Balms. So I have number 15 and number 14. I forgot the names of these. This is Showcase Nude. I don't have the box number 14, so I don't know what number 14 is. I don't remember the name of it. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I've been thoroughly enjoying both of those. I think they look gorgeous on the lips. The first one I bought was like this, I think it's called Scenic Brown. I'm pretty sure that's the name of this one right here. Scenic Brown. Good on some of my skin tone, so that's it right there. So as you can see, it's like your lips are better type vibes, and y'all know I don't usually go for the balm situation, but the YSL ones, they can catch me. Like, I just feel like they have the right amount of pigmentation, and the formula on theirs is really nice, and it looks amazing on the lips. So that's one of the few like balms or lip oilish type products that I'm all about, because honey, it's giving, I'm living. Yes, I love them. They're amazing. I've been loving these little clicky sticks they have. They just came out with 3 new shades. I want to get all 3. I know they're supposed to be exclusive to their website, so I'm thinking about getting their liquid blushes and then like their lip oils in the regular container, and just adding that and doing a whole little ColourPop haul swatch situation or whatever. But I really like these. I have every color that they have at Ulta right now, and I just have to place a ColourPop order because these are really nice. To me, these are the great alternative to the ones from Tarte. Like if you wanted a affordable version of the Tarte ones, then I would definitely recommend you pick up these or the ones from e.l.f. I feel like both those do a good job. I recommend the e.l.f. one as well. I just couldn't find it. I don't know what I did with it or where I put it. That's why I'm not showing it here. But this one and the e.l.f. one are to me the best equivalents to the ones from Tarte, and they have much more affordable price points, so I would definitely recommend those. I don't remember if this came out this year or not. I'm sorry if it didn't. These are the airbrush, what is these, blur lipsticks. This is the shade Honey Blur. There was a couple more shades I wanted to get, but I calmed down on it because I feel like these are really similar to the ones from Udenzai. So I was like, since I have the one from Udenzai, I don't need to grab a whole bunch of these because I got all those from Udenzai. Like I said, I bought Judy's whole set of lips, even though I didn't buy her eyeshadow palette, just because I liked the fact that she had a lipstick in it and everybody else just had glosses. So I have a nice pink one from them. I have one that's similar to this shade with Angie's collection, so I'm not buying any more of these, but the form on these is really nice. So if you didn't want to wait for them to come from Sweden from Udenzai, then you might want to look into these. But just keep in mind, Charlotte Tilbury is kind of expensive. I do have a code with Charlotte Tilbury though, so if you wanted to get a discount and save 15% on your purchase from her website, then you can use my code. It's in the description box down below. I do have one, what is it, lip gel. So I have the Dewy Plump Collagen Lip Gel from Give Beauty. I bought the shade Marigold. I saw this shade on Gwen Stefani and I was like, I need that shade. It's gorgeous. So of course it's like a peachy-ish type shade. I thought it was a gorgeous shade, and I like the formula on these. I actually wanted to get the pink one as well, just because the formula on these just seems really nice and cooling to the lips, and it makes them look like really smooth and fine, and then gives you nice moisture to the lips. I really like the formula on these. I've been liking a lot of stuff from Give Beauty. I feel like it's a brand that's definitely slept on, and people should pay more attention to it because she does a good job with her products. It's just I feel like they don't necessarily market her the way they should. You know, the way that Rihanna and Rare Beauty is marketing. I don't feel like she gets that same kind of marketing, and I don't know if that's why people don't talk about it as much, because I don't really hear people talking about Give Beauty. But I feel like all her products that I've tried have been very nice, and I've been very impressed with them. So I'm confused as to why people aren't talking about it, but you know, to each his own. Next, I have this Clé de Peau Cream Rouge Matte Lipstick. I have the shade Current. I found out about these from Stephanie or Babs Beauty here on YouTube. I tried them. The formula on these is really nice. Again, to me, this formula is really similar to the one from Udenzai. So again, if you wanted a similar formula to Udenzai, this would be similar. Or if you wanted a more affordable version of this formula, then Udenzai would be the place for you, because both formulas I've shown are more expensive than Udenzai. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I feel like all their formulas are very similar. So that's just something to keep in mind with that. I only have 3 more lip products left. I have this Lisa Eldridge lipstick. It's in the shade Skyscraper Rose. I love the formula of her lipsticks. It's just they're so expensive, and y'all know I'm not a big lip person, but you know, I think hers are definitely gorgeous. So this is what the shade looks like. I got this one, and I got one called New Wave when they had a sale on Space NK for I think 20% off her brand. Her lipsticks are amazing. I know this might not necessarily be new, but it's new to me, and I bought it this year, and I really loved her form of her lipsticks. I forgot how much I liked them, so I definitely wanted to shout out this one and New Wave. I just didn't bring New Wave with me, but you've seen New Wave in one of my new makeup release videos from a while ago, so I love her lipsticks. If you want to invest in a quality lipstick that you know you'll wear every day and want a comfortable formula for the lips, then I would definitely recommend getting a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. Just make sure you get a color that you'll wear every single day, so it'll be worth the price point, because I'm telling y'all, those lipsticks are high. It's not that they're not worth it, it's just they're high. Next, I have these ones from Queen Musia. I've been loving their lipstick. So they have one called Molly Bloom that I use a lot, and then they have Madame Barbary, I believe that's how you say it. So it's just a pink and a peachy shade. If y'all haven't noticed it, I like mauve, I like peaches, and I like pink. And lately I've been leaving the mauves behind and just kind of doing the peaches and the pinks. Shout out to everybody who used my code. Thank you so much. I do have a code with this brand. It's just Gelbeauty 87, I think it's QM or something like that. It should be popping up over here, so you can see a color of the color of these lipsticks, like in natural sunlight versus like under the studio lighting. But that's the shade Molly Bloom. I think that's the one I use the most, because it's more of like peachy shade, and I love a good peachy lipstick shade. I do like a pink one every now and again though, so that's why I'm like, I use both of them. It's just I feel like I use that one definitely a little bit more than this one right here. So this is what it looks like. They had a really nice mascara as well that I've been thoroughly enjoying when I put on mascara. 9 times out of 10 though, I hate to say, like lately I'll be forgetting to put on mascara, y'all. I just be in a rush to get stuff done, so I don't get a chance to. But their mascara is really nice as well. It's supposed to have like property in it to help your lashes grow when you use it consistently. And when I'm using one mascara, I usually try to use one and use it consistently. So I felt like it was helping my lashes and made them look nice and, you know, lengthened and whatnot, because y'all know I don't use lashes. That's just not something I do. Those are all the things I had to talk about. Whew, child, I'm tired. I feel like I've been sitting here talking forever. I am so tired. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Comment down below and tell me if you tried any stuff I was talking about, and if they've become some staples for you here in 2024. Make sure you subscribe. My membership is down below if you're interested. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.